Now we move on to goods and services tax. So write the heading GST. Goods and services tax. There was one task force called Kelkar Task Force. Do you know who's Kelkar? Vijay Kelkar, the chairman of the 13th Finance Commission. Okay. So who is the chairman of the 15th Finance Commission? N.K. Singh. And 14th? Y.V. Reddy. So Vijay Kelkar, the chairman of the 13th Finance Commission. So there was one committee or one task force known as Kelkar Task Force. So this task force was set up in the year 2004 in order to see the implementation of FRBM Act of 2003. We'll discuss that act. Okay. So FRBM Act 2003, just to see the implementation of this act, this task force was set up. Now apart from these recommendations, how to implement this, how government should go, we'll discuss later, but this task force also suggested in that report that India should adopt GST. So it means in the year 2004, this was the first time when any committee, task force, or for the first time in India, the term called GST introduced, that India should move on towards a new indirect tax regime called goods and services tax. So we'll write this line. For the first time in India, in the year 2004, Kelkar Task Force recommended that India should adopt an integrated and unified indirect tax regime, which is known as goods and services tax, Full stop. Now we'll write one paragraph with the interlinkages, like how this Kelkar Task Force recommended that what are the benefits that India will receive after switching from the old indirect tax regime to this integrated tax regime. Okay. So we'll write certain kind of linkages, then we'll discuss that linkages. So we write in the next paragraph, this task force outlined certain benefits that India will achieve after the implementation of GST. So full stop. GST will reduce the cascading effect of multiple taxes. GST will reduce the cascading effect of multiple taxes which were prevailing at the time of this task force, at the time of this task force, full stop, full stop. Next line. By reducing cascading effect, don't worry, I'll explain what is cascading effect. By reducing cascading effect, prices in the economy will come down. Prices in the economy will come down via reduction in the tax amount. ठीक है. Next line. After reducing prices, economy will experience increase in the demand that will lead to increase in consumption. Next line. Increment in consumption will lead to increase in investment, and increase in consumption will lead to increase in investment and production. Increase in investment and production. Full stop. This increase in investment and production will lead to high GDP growth rate. Full stop. This high GDP will be helpful in increasing the tax to GDP ratio of the country. And will result in reducing fiscal deficit and eliminating revenue deficit. Full stop. Next line. It will improve the productivity and the competitiveness. Of Indian industries. Full stop. Ultimately, GST will integrate. Indian economy with the world economy, where 160 plus countries are having GST. ठीक है. So I hope you understand a little bit about this paragraph, but we'll draw a relationship. So first one, GST, just understand, if you have written the paragraph, just understand. First one, GST will reduce the cascading effect of multiple taxation. Like for example, we'll take one example, it will make it clear. Like suppose a commodity worth rupees 100. So there is one commodity. We will discuss two tax regime. If you remember the old tax regime, there were taxes like excise duty, sales tax, it means VAT, state level VAT, central sales tax imposed on the intrastate trade. Then we have service tax. So in one value chain of one particular product, there may be 4 taxes and maybe more. Under the new tax regime, we have only one tax. If you have any idea about excise duty, most of the commodities under excise duty charged at 12%. Under VAT, 5 to 12%. Most of the commodities. CST was 2%. And service tax, latest, before GST, we can take 15%. Okay. So after November 2015, service tax was 15%. Here under GST, highest slab, can you tell me? 28%. But most of the commodities comes under 12 to 18%. Because 28% is for some other commodities, we'll discuss in today's class. So if you calculate the taxes on this 100 rupees, it means 12% of this 100 rupees will come out as 112. Getting up it? Then obviously excise duty, if you remember the definition, it is imposed on the ex-factory output. Whenever a commodity will leave the premises, factory premises, then excise duty will be imposed. So on that 100 rupees, excise duty will 12%, 112. Then again sales tax, in our example, we take 5%. So 5% of not this 100, 5% of this 112. So what's the 5% of 112? 5.1. So if you add 5.1 under 112, कितना होगा? 0.1. So we can take roughly 170. Then central sales tax, not on 100, on 117, 2% of this. कितना आएगा? 2 rupees. So 119. Getting up. Then service tax of 15%. 15% not of this 100 rupees, of 119. कितना होगा? 15% of this. 10% is 11.9. Then 5 point something, so 5.45. So whenever you will add, this may be 16. So 135. Now you can see under GST, if you take this 18%, this commodity will be now 118 rupees. So what do you think? Prices will come down under new tax regime, not in the old tax regime. But whenever a customer sees the bill, he or she will find only service tax on that. Not excise duty, not sales tax, not VAT, etc. If you're taking services, if you're purchasing a commodity, you will find VAT. But what about all the hidden taxes that government imposed before the imposition of VAT or maybe service tax? Getting a point? So this is known as cascading effect of multiple taxation. It means cascading effect means tax on taxes. So you can write this example in your copy. ऐसे ही लिख लेना, so you will get an idea.